Good morning. Fish the Beach Farm Investor with your cryptocurrency discussion and report for the 15th of February 2018. I wanted to talk a bit about Zclassic and the upcoming Bitcoin private fork today. Market's been pretty solid in the last 24 hours. Just capping out at that 9,500 resistance mark. So it's going to be a very interesting few hours coming up to see whether we actually can break through there or whether we might be back on the way back down to find some support. What I wanted to talk about today is the idea of buying Zclassic to get, hey Floyd, how are you? The idea of buying Zclassic to get the Bitcoin private fork. And I've got pretty negative feelings on that, if I'm being honest. I don't particularly like either project, Zclassic or Bitcoin private. And I'm going to go over some reasons why. G'day, Desley. And if you are intending on buying Zclassic to get the Bitcoin private fork, I'm actually going to suggest thinking twice because the maths doesn't quite add up to me. And I'm going to take you through some reasons why. I might start with that, and we'll get into a discussion about it afterwards. So I'll bring you over to screen share and show you what my concern is. So for those of you who aren't aware, the snapshot is going to be taking place in the next couple of weeks. And basically what you're going to be getting is one Bitcoin private for every Bitcoin you hold with private keys, and also one for every Zclassic that you hold, ZCL. So if we look at the actual market caps of these two coins, I'll just pop over to coinmarketcap.com. Sorry, looking at the circulating supply. Obviously, we know Bitcoin quite well is around 60 or almost 17 million. We'll call it 17 million for easy math's sake. 17 million circulating supply on Bitcoin. And we're going to go and check Zclassic's circulating supply and add them together because that will be the initial distribution of Bitcoin private. Okay, so we've got a circulating supply of 3.3. We'll make it 3 million for easy maths. And if we add 3 there, so we've got 20 million coins going out. Now, what is the value of Bitcoin private? Now, I want to show you something before we get onto that, actually. This is Zclassic's graph. It has been around for some time. Longer than me in the economy. Had its pump, came back down, flat, 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 flat. One of the hardest pumped coins through December, January. Absolutely massive growth. Have a look at these dollars, like $1.80, $1, $2, and now it's sitting at $165 a couple of months later. So one of the most pumped coins in the economy. Now the problem is this. The problem that I find with Zclassic is it looks to be being abandoned by Bitcoin private, and the reason Bitcoin private. And the reason I say that is because Rhett Cretan is a slimy little bugger, I reckon. Sorry, mate, but you are. I know you're from MIT and you're very intelligent, probably far more intelligent than me. But you're a slimy little bugger, I reckon. Because Rhett started Zclassic and then pretty much left that to go and work on Bitcoin Cash with Roger and friends. And now he's forking again to make Bitcoin private. If we go and have a look at a bit on the website, one thing that really, okay, they can launch a coin, fine, but be careful about where you value this, because let's have a look at this. I went through to have a look, and white paper coming soon. Great. So you're actually going to take this snapshot before you've released a white paper. Excellent. I don't want this trash. I really don't. And I've got no interest in Zclassic because the founder looks to be abandoning it to fork and make more money. That's my honest opinion. I'm sorry if that's controversial, and whatever your name is, I am sorry if I've offended you, mate, but come on. What are you doing? You're confusing people. You know how to confuse people. You've been in the economy a long time. Where is he? BTCP team. Yeah, this guy, Rhett. Been in the economy a long time. I think he's deliberately fooling people. And in doing so, he's also pumped up the price of his old coin. Very, very clever strategically from his own point of view, but there's no value to it. So I'm not getting involved. Now, so many people are planning to buy this up because, oh, look at the ratio you get in compared to Bitcoin. It's so much better. Like one Bitcoin's almost $9,000 or over $9,000, and one Zclassic is $150 or $160. So if I want Bitcoin private, it's cheaper for me to get that through Zclassic. Well, here's the thing. How much do you want Bitcoin private? They don't even have a white paper released. I don't want it. You can keep it. So for me, Zclassic looks like it's being abandoned because they're moving on to Bitcoin private. At least the founder and the lead developer, he's gone. So what is the value of then holding Zclassic only to get Bitcoin private, which doesn't even have a white paper out? I'll pass. You guys play it how you like, but you're going to be in a dumping race once that snapshot is taken. I would love to short Zclassic right now because I can see a vicious dump coming. That's my personal opinion, and I'm sorry. And it won't happen, shouldn't happen right now because we've still got, like, I think it's on the 24th or something of the month is the snapshot. So we've still got a little while. So it won't dump straight away, but I wouldn't be playing that game because you're going to have to be damn quick on your computer to get your money out before everyone else when that cycle starts. And I very strongly believe that it will. See what happens. All right, coming over to see what you guys think about my little rant. I don't know if I ever actually screen shared with you guys. Okay, let's see who's in today. Joey's in. Buy ball today, nice. We'll take a look in a second, man. We'll have a look at the markets. I still haven't downloaded that wallet and given it a go yet. I'll have to get you to help me if I struggle with it, but you told me it's pretty easy, so I'm becoming a bit of a crypto specific with computers. I'm not bad with crypto. Outside of crypto, I'm terrible with computers still. G'day, BB. Big crew again, Fisher. You're go away. Lease up 2-1 after 1, said Mark G. That's good to hear. Giving Tree Cultivator, good morning. Zhao. Could be either, Mark G. 9.5, mate. You go and have a look. Looks like 9.5. I think we've been calling that for a little while, haven't we? So we'll see what happens at 9.5. If we can get through there. What's the market doing at the moment? Let me do it on this one. Yeah, if we can bust through 9.5, maybe. Get back to bullish times. There's not a lot of resistance between 9.5 and sort of 12, 11 maybe. I just do rough charting. You guys know me. Please don't. This is not financial advice. TA advice. This is not. All this is me talking. Information and entertainment, if you can call it that. Goodness, look at Litecoin, 34%. Boom. Been calling that for a breakout for a while, guys. So good to see. Anyone who got into Litecoin there? Sitting at 222. Chew for chew. For the Richie Benno fans. Yeah, look, Bitcoin 9423 on CoinMarketCap. Asia waking up now. It's going to have a big push from Asia to get through 9.5. I feel like there's going to be strong resistance there. So, but if we can push through that, it could be, it could be a good week ahead. Good 7 days ahead. It's hard to judge weeks in this economy because it's 24/7, right? Methinks LTC price will hold an Ether Classic too, but Zclassic will drop after. Yeah, I think Zclassic will take severe retracements. Mark G, I'm confused. I thought the symbol for Bitcoin private was BTCZ. Oh, just confusion on confusion, Mark. I actually wrote an article about this, didn't know the team detail. Good find, Fish. No worries, yeah. No value to it, says Grinkers. I don't want it. You can keep it. Oh, no, he's quoting me. Yeah. Oh, but he agrees 1,000%. Yeah. Yeah, man. No, you can have it. BTC is going to 13K end of the month. Futures market has gone long. Price from last futures 10,900. So the banker whackers, I'd call them wankers. Yeah, will need to be a bit higher so they don't get caught. It should be a last minute push. I agree. When do the futures finish? Noddy? Do you know the date off the top of your head, bro? By the way, look for your comment. Couldn't find it in my videos. Yeah, yeah, plenty of excellent privacy coins built on Bitcoin code base. No need for it, or it's distraction from other developments. Jiao just said Wax just got listed on Bittrex. I will literally go and buy some. I quite like Wax, and I think it's probably undervalued at 30 cents. If we're going to have a future in digital commodity trading, if you like, digital asset trading, especially like assets in video games, that's where Wax are really specializing. I mean, I'm not into it, but I know the world is. So I think, you know, I've often talked about how I like projects that actually have a working business model. It's not a promise, it's happening. And Wax has that. So yeah, like Wax. What's the deal with BTC Diamond? Seems like they have a partnership in Asia. The insane pump on KuCoin about a week before the whole market tumbled seemed to leave KuCoin volume scared. Giving Tree Cultivator, that was a bit of a perfect storm, because KuCoin was struggling with the influx of people. They went to 2 million users in no time, and they weren't handling it like most exchanges have been through that at some stage or another. I know this because I was doing some trading on behalf of Ethercept at the time, and we had a substantial transfer waiting to go out, and it took some time, and it made me very nervous, obviously. But it all ended up fine. But yeah, during that time, people were actually unable to get their Bitcoin Diamond into the KuCoin exchange to dump at those high prices. I was actually speculating that what could be happening is someone who does have Bitcoin Diamond on that exchange, which wouldn't have been too many people, could have been trading to themselves at a very, very high price and then selling off the bulk of their Bitcoin Diamond on Bittrex and other exchanges that had it, while unaware people think that they can perform arbitrage, and they couldn't because they couldn't get into the market. So this person's just trading at ridiculous highs to himself, but selling off the bulk of the Bitcoin Diamond all over the markets that are actually open. I have a strong belief that that's what probably happened. Makes sense, right? And you sucker a few people in with that. Like, I warned our investment crew against doing it. I said, don't go and do it. You can't arbitrage it. You're banking that trade action is still going to be going on when the Bitcoin Diamond wallet reopens on KuCoin, and I don't think that's likely. So yeah, hopefully I save some people some money. Byteball wallet is simple. The perfect day for the wallet review fish. Yeah, man. Well, it's not the perfect day for me. I've got a bit to do, but the surf's not really kicking in yet, so I probably won't spend a long time in the water today. So I should be able to get that Byteball wallet downloaded today. BTC will bounce around this resistance line at 9,400 for a few days, then go. I've got a crystal ball. Feel like buying a Jesus coin too. It's at 9,371. Okay, cool. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it pretty closely because it is a critical time. If the Asia pump doesn't push us over 9,500, I would say we will retrace a little, and I'd have to go and look at the charts to figure out where. And that's just on BTC. HP said, what's your short call after the fork on Zclassic, man? Dump the crap out of Zclassic, if I'm being honest. This guy's abandoned it. The same guy who founded Zclassic has moved to Bitcoin Private. So Zclassic looks like it's being abandoned for Bitcoin Private, which doesn't have a white paper. It looks like a last cash grab on failed projects to me. I really don't like him. Anyway, I'm sorry, man. I don't hate anyone, but I just find he's a smart guy. He said that he's an MIT student or graduate or student, and either way, he's intelligent. So he knows what he's doing. So it's not just getting caught up in the hype of things and some guy who's pretty good with coding and just released Bitcoin Private, not knowing any better. He knows what he's doing. It's very calculated. So yeah, I don't like it. God, I sounded like Pauline Hanson just then. You sent comment to the message, YouTube message. I don't know how to look at that in audio. I'll have to figure it out. I'll figure it out, dude. Yeah, I know, Jazz, man. Everyone around's getting excited. Everyone all up and down the east coast of Australia should hit like fairly broadly. We got a cyclone swap coming, so everyone's getting pumped. I was down at D-Bar this morning. I stood out there for like an hour. The clouds are coming in, and it's getting overcast and rainy, but the swell is lagging behind, hasn't come in yet. The tide was really high, so it could have been just been buried under that high tide in the morning sickness. So I'm probably going to head down after this stream because it's could be coming in this afternoon. Everyone's at work, so go get some of those waves. Desley, how do I invest or join your investment group, please? Desley, no problems at all, man. We've got a link in the description of the video. So if you go down to the video description, I've got a little comment there about what I'm talking about today. Hit view more, and there's a link for a Discord group. That's the Crypto Wave Investment Crew Discord group. So if you join up there, we can, you can talk crypto with us all day. We've got a couple of ICOs we're looking at the moment. I haven't checked my emails actually, but I did send away for one that we are hoping to get considered for strategic investment at the private pre-sale. And the crew's really bullish on that one. So I think if we get through, I think we'll probably be putting a bit of money into that one. Guys, when I applied for it, I actually left a range because I said, it depends on a few things, on how much the budget is. So I put, I won't say it out loud, but I'll go and type it on our Discord group, what I've put in for our budget. It's about what we've raised already, and then basically double that just to give us some room in case we really like the metrics. So yeah, I'll let you guys know as that develops, but that looks good. Giving Tree Cultivator. Chris is in, Chris Sikos. Since yesterday's chat, I've been singing Johnny Cash's Personal Jesus with a crypto twist inspired by the decentralized Jesus comment. My own decentralized Jesus. Brilliant comment. Jesus not controlled by the Vatican or any denominations hierarchy. Interesting. ETC pumping on Callisto Feb 28, Callisto airdrop. How high will it go? Seen some crazy speculations up to $400. I bought some in November. Haven't bought more. Will most likely drop after the airdrop. Not sure. Not sure. I always thought Zclassic got a bit of a raw deal. I did. So I don't mind Zclassic. I recognise the brilliance of a man named Vitalik Buterin, and that I don't think his influence and his knowledge can be overvalued. I don't think it can be overvalued. So I put a high value on Vitalik Buterin. And as I said, it looks like they got away with it because some people are predicting pretty lofty sort of numbers for Ethereum now as well. The next 3 days in the Chinese New Year is just like a Thanksgiving weekend in China. They will all be sitting around talking. What do you think many will be talking about? Noddy, I get what you're saying, man. But I also get that they're going to go, isn't it a pity we can't get into crypto because our government's completely banned it. We can't even get onto an exchange unless we set up like a VPS. And I wouldn't even know how to do that. And I'm not suggesting you do if you are in China. But you would have to circumvent the law. So I understand the bullishness behind Chinese money before the ban came. The ban makes it hard for the average person. There will be, like I've said, there will be some money that gets in because people will circumvent it and some big people will have legitimate ways to do it offshore. But general everyday person, probably not. Oh, yes, Joe got his new webcam working, so he's back up and running with live streams soon. Noddy said, I could come down to D-Bar. I've got one of those giant toucan floaties like the pink swans. D-Bar's probably the most, that and Stratty would be the most advanced board riders waves on the coast. I'm not sure a pink toucan goes well out there. Stephen Milner, Zclassic founder Richard Hart ripped him a new asshole in a debate about Bcash. He called him a pump and dumper as well. Yeah, Stephen Milner, I actually watched that interview, man. So that interview was as much shaping my opinion as anything else. His exodus to Bcash, and then he couldn't even defend himself when he was being called out as someone who is just moving to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing to make money. He just went, well, yeah, I don't have a lot of respect for the guy. Desley said, excellent, thank you. Do you like coffee? My husband and I own a coffee shop in Murwillumbah. If you in the area, drop in. Well, which one is it, Desley? I'll drop in for sure. I head down south often for surfing, so I can drop into Murwillumbah. And I don't drink a huge amount. I like iced coffees, but my girlfriend's a big coffee drinker. So we'll have to drop in for sure, Desley. Be good to see you. Noddy said, have you seen the Jesus Coin website? Hilarious. It's turned over 160,000. I have no interest. Whoa, what? Mark G said, Vitalik's mum was at my meetup last night. She offered no tips. Are you serious? You should have said, come on Fisher's show. We'll have Vitalik's mum. That would be a sick interview. Do you reckon she says and the same way he does? Have you guys watched his interviews where he says and? I don't want to make fun of him, but it's funny. He probably thinks the way I speak's funny. Most of you probably do. Yeah, Noddy said, don't you think there are a few sneaky Chinese? I know heaps of them. The big boys will be in again. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I do agree with that. But not as much as we could have otherwise seen. Obviously, a ban is going to inhibit some people and some money. The same way as just even Korea putting a regulation have restricted some people because they're like, I don't have the paperwork to get down to the bank. I've got to do this and this, and so they can't get the Korean money. So it's not affecting everyone, sure, but it's still not as much coming in from those areas that might have been if things had gone differently. I still think long-term Korea was good long-term. Kelly Slade LTC at 224. Look good. Cointext, have you seen that? Nah, sorry, Noddy. Simple, brutal answer there. Next time someone tells you crypto is only for money laundering and drug money, tell them that money laundering is estimated at $2 trillion per year by traditional financial services. Crypto 2.5% of that. Mark G, I am literally, dude, let me show you something. I'm going to bring you to screen share so that you know that I'm not bullshitting you. And I'm writing something at the moment, and please forgive me, but I'm literally doing a video on the 5 top crypto myths, and I'm debunking them. And one of them was cryptocurrency is, well, it's here somewhere. Fund terrorism, money laundering. Cryptocurrency is being widely used for money laundering. So I'm debunking that by, using actual figures. So I see eye to eye with you on that one. You can guess where I'm going on funding terrorism and drug use as well. But yeah, I think it'd be a good video to get out there and sort of debunk some of those things. I've also got on the list that governments can shut it down and that it has no intrinsic value. So they're the 5 myths about crypto that I'm trying to debunk. So I hope I don't often ask for shares or anything, but if you can share that video around, I think what I'll put behind it will be very logical and very easy for newbies to understand. Re-CafeNet. I'm trying to get my husband to accept crypto through the cafe. Oh, I'll pay him PIVX. Just download the app and we'll do at least one, Desley, when I come down. Let me pay him PIVX and I'll do at least one, and we can do at least one transaction. And if you like it, it's all good. Hey, did you guys see that Coinbase are getting into the sort of the merchant payment solutions game, offering crypto payment services for merchants? So that's pretty cool. Helps, again, for wider adoption. I mean, I still don't think a whole lot of people are going to be accepting crypto just yet, but every step counts. Mark G, this is from Noddy O. 20% of US $100 notes are buried in Colombia. So yeah, the bullshit with crypto being only there for crumbs is a smokescreen. Yeah, exactly. Only there for crims, sorry. Rockets in. Banks have stopped loaning each other money, almost zero. That's not good. By the way, there's a 10-year bond for Australia. If they tank, it would drastically affect crypto. Anyway, just a heads up. Cheers. Good on you, Rocket. Oh, there's a cafe in Nimbin with a crypto machine. Sweet. ETC, this is Giving Tree Cultivator. Speaking to Mark. ETC likely to dump after airdrop snapshot, but seems other reasons for it is sustained and rising price. For its sustained and rising price. I beg your pardon. OG supporters. Coin Mastery talks about ETC instruments on Asian equity markets soon. Cool. Desley, if you take LightPay, you'll receive fiat, not crypto. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. And there's something else I can work on, Desley. I can show you how to do something, but I want to contact the company who's doing it at the moment and start doing merchant stuff with them at a lower rate, because obviously if you're a merchant, you're going to be turning over a lot higher volume. But yes, we can get it so that it converts directly into fiat currency for you as well. You don't have to hold it in crypto. But the system I'd like to design is giving the merchant an opportunity to hold 10% of it in crypto or something like that if they want to. Traditional financial services are FUD crypto while gobbling it up before it moons. That's Mark G's opinion. I'm testing the commerce of Coinbase, pretty prototyped. Okay, thanks, Joe. Yeah, I knew it'd be early days, man, but it's still good to see them making those moves, I reckon. The Cointext is a mobile wallet to text crypto. You should take a look at it. Only thing is it uses BTC. Yeah, Noddy, if I was going to use something to text crypto, I'd go with blue collar crypto on this one and go with Byteballs. I still got to download it, and I'll try that, and then I can qualify that statement I've just made a bit more thoroughly. But if you're having to move BTC through a message, I'm assuming that there's still transaction fees of $10 or more. No, has to be cheaper. Kelly Slade said, LightPay is 1%. They can get crypto or fiat. That's sick. I didn't know it was only 1%. That's cool. Zhao said we need to talk about that crypto fiat thing. Yeah, man, I'll contact you, Zhao. Easy. I just know you're busy, man. Zhao's got a million things on the go at the moment as well, creating a new website and so on. Nodio, the Nimbin Cafe is on the Bitcoin Worldwide documentary that was released about 5 to 6 weeks back. I haven't seen the documentary. Someone put a link up for that. Yeah, cool, Desert. Stay tuned. We'll drop into the cafe. I'll have to remember the name of it, though. In Murbar. Beautiful part of the world. All right. I want to take a look at the markets and see how we're trending. Bring you over to screen share so you can have a look with me. Should really figure out how to keep myself on the screen and just have it constantly going in the background with a green screen thing. Surely they're not that expensive. I can figure it out. Let's have a look and see how we're trending. Well, we don't need this anymore. Yeah, so my assessment on that is don't bother with it. Zclassic will dump hard. Bitcoin private shouldn't be worth that much anyway. What are you going to give it, a $20 million market cap? That's being generous for its stage of development. So that puts it at $1 a coin. So you're buying a $150 coin to make $1 per coin and hope that you can beat the dump. Good luck. Not for me. That's not my strategy. Looking good. Still testing. I'd like to see it push, though. I really would like to see it push over that 95 on Bitcoin, because I think Bitcoin's still leading this market primarily at the moment. It seems to the rest of the market seems to have tied itself to Bitcoin somewhat at this stage. You know, there's variations on that, of course, with Litecoin outperforming in the last 24 hours significantly, Dash coming back well. Yeah, so a few good gainers. A little bit of red in the last hour, which is not the greatest sign coming out of the first couple of hours of Asia. We might well find resistance at that 9,500, but good to see us well back, you know, way back over sort of $6,000 where we dipped to, where fish bought. So I made good 50% in a week, or 8 days or whatever it was. Stoked. And more on Litecoin. Just having a look what else we got here. R-Chain, interesting. How's PIVX going? Where are we? PIVX at $6.16. Yeah, we come up 10%. That's nice. Only retraced 0.05% in the last little bit as well. Good to see. Nice steady growth patterns for PIVX. Happy about that. Here's Byteball. Oh, Byteball's had a nice run. 23%. Joe was right. Very nice, Joe. Oh, this is another one that kicked up big. I've been trading this a bit, as I told you guys, Neo and Dragon Chain. And Dragon Chain's kicked up really nicely, picking up 25% in the last 24 hours. Another ICO coming out on Dragon Chain soon. I can't remember which one it is. I probably should go and have a look at it before I tell everyone about it and see if I want to get involved. I had a quick look at it. Yeah, so pretty cool looking market overall. Last hour's a little bit red, but fresh wave of money coming in through the western parts of Asia and then through Europe and America. Who knows? We might break that that resistance point of 9,500 and be off to the races to sort of $11,000 or $12,000. Be interesting to see. I'm going to watch a new documentary. I'm going to share the link on Discord. Thanks, Xiao. I love a good doco. Has anyone made a PIVX payment kiosk? Tie in a POS system with a customer-facing PIVX payment screen. Not that I'm aware of, Grinkers. We were working on the pivot payment system, PIVIT. I'm not sure where that's at. I'd have to check with the developers. But what I wanted to do, Grinkers, is one specifically for Australia, where I can use the Australian conversion services to convert cryptocurrency into fiat. And I'm hoping to negotiate a cheaper rate for merchants. Makes sense, right? If I can bring them stacks of volume, they should be able to cut down the amount they're taking. So I'll contact them about that today. I'll drop an email. Wow, Kelly Slade just said LTC's at 227 now. Kelly said, anyone have a guess as to when LTC will top out on this round? We can have a look at the chart if you want. No, let's do that. Do you want to do it against Bitcoin or against US dollars? Because they're both relevant. Let's have a look. I'll find it. I'm sure we can find a Bittrex thing. I don't really want the balance. I just want Bittrex. That one. All right, cool. Whoop. Markets, sorry. Bitcoin LTC. Oh, look at that growth. Well, it's the highest it's ever been by a significant way against BTC itself. So that makes it really, really, really difficult. Makes it really difficult to find any previous resistance points because there are none. So your guess is as good as mine. Obviously, we found, you see how often when you're doing your technical analysis, how often the points of resistance line up? See? Boom and boom. And then that will, I wouldn't be surprised if on the way back down, this was to act as, on the way back down, that sort of level would act as your first support level. And it was pretty close because it came back down and then kicked back off there again. So, that's a little bit of TA 101, if you like. You see here, you see there's supports hitting the same points as well. Bang, 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 all around the same area. Yeah, here as well. So yeah, LTC is very, very high against Bitcoin. Let's check it against the US dollar, which is also relative. I believe it is anyway. A lot of people don't think it is. I think it is. Okay, so I'm just going to try and find the US dollar markets. Here we go. Versus Litecoin. To our dailies. Scroll out a bit, see what we're looking at. Okay, so we're looking for points of resistance that line up. And again, it's quite hard because its history above this price is fairly limited. But usually what's going to happen is your resistance is going to form at your previous points of support. And if you have a look here, we're actually hitting that right now, where the support was last time on the way down. Okay, these points here, we're actually hitting that right now. So this is a critical point. Will we come up and over? See where my line is? How it's lining up with this green candle over here? Are we going to crack through that? If so, we probably trade between these ranges. If not, break back down to support somewhere around here. Probably around here. See how we go. Very, very basic Fisher's TA based on a question that came through the chat. I'm not a technical analyst, by the way, guys. I know a little bit about it, but please make your own decisions when you're investing in the crypto economy. I prefer research over TA. It's always been my favorite way to go about it. And Mark G said, I noticed that ball pump. WTF, I didn't get in. Coin market has already hit 9,500, has it? Oh, cool. I'm still on sidelines, like a lot of people, waiting to see if BTC nosedives to sub 6K. My thoughts are if it breaks 9,500 will be good. Like if it has a strong breakthrough there. Try to use the OBS thing we did on the computer. This Mac should handle it. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I will. And I use a green screen, right? Would that work as a green screen? Pretty green. Can I just like take the zebra picture down and move this cabinet and use that as a green screen? Might work. I'll paint that whole wall the right color if that's the easiest way. Go down to Bunnings and get the right color for a green screen and just change that to a green wall. I don't care. See, the rise of Rise, don't get too excited. They pulled it off Bittrex at 0.24, now trading on a shit exchange under $1,000 volume, buy at 64 cents. Coin markets call this a big mover. Yeah. Yeah, you got to be real careful, Noddio. It's a good point. We saw it with Ucash. No offense, Mark G. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that we saw it with Ucash when it was trading at 1 point something. It was over $1 billion in market cap, but there was bugger all trade volume, like $1 million, which is nothing. It's 0.1%. So way too low volume to like actually qualify that as a price. Just ignore it when the volume's that low. Kelly bought in BTC just under 8 US. Nice. Should be good if we get through 9.5. BBC Panorama. Who wants to be a Bitcoin millionaire? Hey, man. Moon for LTC. Watch out, Elon's Skyman may find traffic. Very good. Desley, you trust a rebranding. I bought in at ICO. I think it's early days and looking good. Thoughts? Yeah, you trust got well pumped. Big time pumped, Desley. You can tell because of the volume. If you got in at ICO, though, I can't imagine they were valuing it $1 billion at ICO. So imagine you're many X. I think this could be a time where wider exchange availability might further bring the price down because people have more opportunity to sell it at what I consider to be an overvalued price for the current stage of development and potential for the project. Just being honest. I think we're going to need payment systems and all the rest of it, but you've got, it's being valued above 10x. And 10x's payment solutions are far more developed. and so is their community and customer base. So yeah, I would probably be saying hunt down that. Like, this is just my opinion. Like, Desla, you got to make your own decisions, but I'd be saying hunt down that exchange and take some profit if you're in profit. And, you know, might be able to buy it back cheaper when it hits the major exchanges. That would be my thoughts on that. Quite often a, major exchange listing will bring a price up, but sometimes it will be the thing that was holding the price up because no one could be bothered, cashing it out because they've got to go and open up a new exchange, et cetera, et cetera. I'm really, really sorry to give that opinion of it. But it's just, that much money for a payment solution that's only just opened. I don't know how big their customer base is at the moment, but it would have to be in the millions to justify $1 billion valuation. And I don't believe that they've got user base in the millions. And I'd be willing to bet they don't have that sort of adoption of the merchant side either. So yeah, it's promising long term. We need these sorts of things in the crypto economy, but the current valuation to me doesn't accurately represent the stage of development. Joe, I've done something sacrilegious. I just bought Ripple, not because I have confidence in the project. I have confidence in the stupidity of dumb money. Yeah, but there's plenty of good projects out there unvalued. Why take the gamble on dumb money? I suppose it's kind of a certainty. What are you saying about BitConnect? I missed that. Oh no, did you get BitConnect too? No, don't be mean. Giving Tree Cultivator. Sold BTC from 11K down to 8.5 and been waiting for buyers set starting at 7,700, considering buying some soon. Eager to get into undervalued alts. Like a DNA. Yeah, I like DNA, man. Oh, shit. I still got to contact David. Get him on the show. Elixir, Wabi, Modem. Modem I've been hearing a bit more about. What was it doing? It was... I can't remember. We looked at one and the project was the same value proposition. Everyone said, it's the same as Modem. Racking my brain on that one. INS, APPC, TIX, GUP, Proppy, Stocks, Icon, Dragon, Pillar, and maybe a Door. Yeah, cool. There's some there that I've heard of and really, really like. There's none that I dislike in that list. There's some that I don't know about, though. Looks pretty good. If you're having a shift around, can I have the Diddy bodyboard give you one PIV including postage to UK? Which one? The Diddy bodyboard? This one? Or this one? Or the other one? Not that many bodyboards. This is a trophy. First place, Gold Coast Bodyboarding Club. 3rd year in a row. 3 out of 3. It's only started competing at 32. Now I've broken my trophy. I'll get that later. No, but what I do, you know what I do have, Floyd, coming for sale soon? It's going to cost more than 1 PIV. I got the hats coming. I went down and saw the embroider. I'm getting the PIVX, shield on 1 quarter and then PIVX.org on the back. Should look good. So, I've only got 21 of them. I've ordered 21. I'm going to have one. Tanya's going to have one. 19 will be for sale. Limited edition. Any money I make off that, I'll put towards Tanya's surfing this year. Still got a lot to pay for her. Modified Mafia, thoughts on Tron and all their latest progress. I know their plagiarized white paper was contributing to a lot of FUD, but I read from Coda's perspective that cause it's open source, it's fine. Yeah, Modified Mafia, I sort of had the same discussion with someone about LightPay's white paper potentially being, with Wilkie, about what LightPay's white paper potentially being 95% plagiarized. So I don't care. It's not a payment system. That's got nothing to do with the coin itself. So, yeah, I wasn't too worried about that, and I get your point about open source. My concern with Tron is not so much the potentially shared information in the white paper. My problem with Tron is, again, stage of development versus current valuation. And I think that Tron did excellent work on their marketing. Excellent work. And perhaps they got their token and their market cap, more specifically, to a value that was inflated beyond what it should have been for the stage of development. Does that mean Tron will never get back to those prices? No, it absolutely can, provided the development work, actually catches up to where that price got to, because it was well overheated for something that's still an ERC20 token. Let's remember that. As far as I'm aware, please correct me if I'm wrong, Modified Mafia, but it's still an ERC20 token at this stage. They haven't got it. They haven't got a coin on a mainnet yet. Icon still haven't either, if I'm being honest, but that should be coming up in the next month or so. I'm not sure how far Tron are away from integration. And just for mine, it seemed like I read this article about the two different types of ICOs being released and saying that there was very clearly two groups of thought. One is, okay, we go and have the idea, put that on a bit of paper and ask for the money to do it. And the other one is we go and build the idea and then ask for the money to continue to develop it, or ask people to invest in what we've built. And this article suggested that you're best off looking for the projects that have actually already put in some development work and potentially have a working product already, rather than asking for the money for the working product. So I sort of, that article made a lot of sense to me, a lot of logical sense. So yeah, that's kind of what I feel about Tron at the moment. But maybe it's still like a little overvalued. But the thing is, right, is that it's such a strong community behind it because of that marketing push at the start, because of the brilliant marketing. They've got a huge community and talking about how it's so much cheaper than all-time highs. And as long as enough people believe that, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. For me personally, I haven't invested in Tron, and I don't intend to get back into it. I sold my airdrop, got into Icon with that. I've been happy with my decision. AB, is this about Zclassic? As your header says, I need to know more if buying Zclassic at 175 is bad. AB, you still around, man? I hope you are. Because AB, I want to give you some advice on that, man. Like, in my opinion. Oh, okay. No, forget about it. See you later. AB said, dude, it's rude to people who watch your show to ignore them. Honestly, unprofessional and ignorant. No, that's why I was responding to the person who actually asked the question before you. It could also be argued it's rude to be impatient. So catch you later, AB. All the best. Mark G said, my problem with Tron is I'm holding a bag. Modified Mafia agreed it is still an ERC20 token at this stage. No, bought after plagiarism news, not a huge bag. Yeah, cool. From what I read, Tron TRX has made bulk progress. They've had heaps of new additions to their GitHub. Their office in San Francisco is up and running, and apparently they have 80 new stuff. That's awesome. Good to hear that develop. Like that's building community, which I've often suggested is just as important as, well, not, maybe not as important, but it's certainly right up there with actually the technology itself, the community behind the coin. Is Bitcoin the best technology in the crypto economy? No. But it has the biggest community support behind it. So it continues to be number one and can be while it's still got that level of community support. So yeah, with Tron, if they're going to, they can really capitalize off that momentum that they built through a strong marketing campaign in the early days. So it's certainly, I'm not one sitting here saying, oh, it's all over for Tron or anything like that. Far from it. I'm saying it's got potential to reach its highs that it's already reached and surpass that if they get the project right. So yeah, I'd have to check up Modified Mafia on how much extra development work has been done that you're suggesting there, and see how relevant that is to its current price. But it's good to hear that they've got 80 staff, a lot of people willing to work on the project. They really did do well at building that support. I was lucky. I got it at 0.035, 3.5 cents. Wish I dumped at 25 cents, obviously, but I love to hodl. Not. All good fish, I don't panic. I'm waiting for 15 cents to sell that Tron. That'll be 2x for me. Yeah, it's good to have exit strategies, Mark G. That's a good point, you know. I haven't actually checked the charts to see whether I agree with that point of resistance. Like, you got to be careful about taking your profits at like, to me, it's more profitable to actually take your profits at points that actually line up with resistance. And I showed you guys on that chart how things line up time and time again. So to me, it's better to take profit at slightly higher or slightly less than 2x, depending on the actual resistance points, rather than saying, okay, well, this is exactly 2x for me, so that's where I'm taking it. Wonder where the dislike came from? I can probably guess, mate. I just called the dude out for being impatient. I have nieces like that. Actually, they're more patient. So, there you go. Awesome. Just wanted to share, as a lot of people have been turning a blind eye to it due to all the FUD. You know, Modified Mafia, superhut.org is a big Tron fan. Ethercept, also a Tron fan, I believe. So we've got, like, it's not like there's the crypto wave investment crew are Tron haters. There's actually quite a few of our crew who have invested in it, personally. Well, I wouldn't say it's like a huge percentage of our crew, but there's definitely some promise in it, man. So, yeah. Can we all pull together and buy the rubbish dump in the UK where that guy's wife, this is funny, and threw the computer away with 7,500 BTC in it? I can operate a digger. Notio, we've got no chance of finding it. Xiao said, Xiao's in Tron as well. I love my Tron bags. You know why? Because I made a trade. Hang on, let's see. Got 10% from it and leave the profits of Tron instead of taking BTC and Ether. So yeah, he's free rolling. Xiao's free rolling, so he's fine. Leafs are up 4-3 after 2. Any Toronto people here, come to the Decentral Jacks huge 4th anniversary party tomorrow. Didn't know Anthony Delorio was involved with Engine Coin until yesterday. Worth a look. I'm not sure I know who Anthony Delorio is. No, I don't think I do. Sorry, Mark. Not saying that, dude, just in general, like in a lot of crypto Facebooks, groups, etc., a lot of people still get caught up on the plagiarized white paper, etc. Yeah, we've tried to be fairly balanced about that Modified Mafia, because I understand that it was actually only like the translation, right? That some parts were plagiarized, and that was done by volunteers, not by the core team, I think, if I'm right. So the original Chinese version of the white paper was not as heavily sourced as the translation was. That's what I've heard. I don't actually speak either dialect of Chinese. I don't speak Mandarin or Cantonese, so I can't tell you whether the original white paper has any unoriginal elements in it. But yeah, that's what I'd heard. It was a bit of an overreaction. And Modified Mafia, we talked about how that's often when everyone's fearing. If you've got long-term belief in the project, if you've done your research, you like what you're saying, it's the best time to be buying. Best time to be buying. So there's a lot of good things to be said about the current stage of, you know, where Tron did drop to and its price. Yeah, so it's not one that I'm hating on. It's just not one that I'm investing in. Hope that's a balanced opinion for you. Mark G said founder of Ether. The founder of, oh, okay, oh, sorry, yeah. Anthony Delorio, yeah, co-founder of Ether, yeah, sure. Tron will always be in the top 20. The Justin Sun face will keep it there. There's more Chinese Asian people in the world than, for instance, Papua New Guinea for following. Yeah, sure. Justin Sun's excellent with his marketing. I 100% agree with that. So, yeah. I don't think Tron will, we've talked about coins that I really, really dislike in this economy. Tron's not one that I really don't, that I really dislike. Just taking a look at the market. Still looking a little. No, it's looking fairly steady. It's probably come back just a touch overall, but fairly steady in the last hour. The overall market cap's sitting for 458 billion. 24-hour volume is 24 billion. Still a little low for mine. Like I said, when we were bull running, that was up around 40 billion. So I'd like to see a little bit more volume, but there was also a pretty big spike in the volume this morning on Bitcoin for 3 or 4 hour period. So hopefully that's good signs. We'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, it's getting bloody warm in here because that storm's about to hit. So the humidity's going through the roof, and I might go for a surf. Modified Mafia, I'll get this comment in before I leave. And if they release the online casino that there is rumor about on their Reddit, as well as the decentralized entertainment system, should be good fun. Yeah, cool. I'm not a gambler myself, but I'm clearly aware of how much money there is to be made in that industry. Icon ready to pump. Mark G, we need to see these tokens integrated into the ERC20, into the Icon mainnet. We need to have, I don't know, I haven't heard any announcements about that, but that's what we need to see. I honestly think for our next pump, we need to see that. It could be ready to go. I think it's like reasonably priced at the moment, given I've done the maths on all things going well being at $30. So I think it's well priced at the moment. But I'd really like to see now a focus on the integration of the ERC20 token onto to the Icon coin on the mainnet. There is an interesting comment back at a bit Fisho that Justin Sun is actually planted there for big money backers. Okay, cool. Also, thoughts on Ethergotchi, the Tamagotchi-based dApp being built on Ethereum. Modified Mafia, yeah. I don't know. One of these catchy little games will probably gain a lot of popularity for a couple of years, but I don't know. I'm looking for more disruptive uses of the blockchain and societal benefits, and I'm not sure looking after a digital animal on the blockchain is really bringing any benefits to society at all. So yeah, it's not like my projects are more based around how we can get societal benefit out of the blockchain, how we can improve industry and society for all of us. And I don't think that having a blockchain version of Tamagotchi necessarily does that. Storm, catch those waves. That's what I'm planning, man. It's getting real humid, so I'd say that storm's about to hit. Should glass off. Hopefully the swell comes in as it's supposed to, and it could be a good afternoon for fishing the waves. Joe's going to go live for anyone who wants to keep the conversation going. He's about to go live. So Blue Collar Crypto, go and check out his channel. Oh, hang on. Noddy's just dropped his, I won't even say it just in case people are wondering what that is. Okay. Where'd it go? Okay, cool, got it. I'll text you later. I'll probably come down that way this weekend. Got to meet my new nephew. Guys, cool conversation. I am sorry to AB that I wasn't able to get to your question quick enough and that I went on I got a bit brutal with my response. I don't often feel good about that, but patience is a virtue. So for those of you who do want to come in and ask a question, I do try and get to every single one of them if I can, but it does take me some time. So often I'm behind the chat. Anyway, I'm going to head out. Oh, you reckon Ethergotchi will be big? Probably will be, Modified Mafia. I'm not saying it won't be. It's just not something I'm putting money behind, man. So yeah, I will Google it for sure. I'll be interested. I know someone who'll be interested. Dee, I don't know if you've been in the chat when Dee's been in here, but she's like into hash puppies and crypto kitties and all that stuff. She just loves it. So, what can I do? She's probably going to buy an Ethergotchi as well. All right, guys. I'm going to head out. I'm getting hot. You're a sweet fish. Very considerate. Oh, well. Got to be, don't you? There's enough arseholes in the world. We got plenty of people forking for Bitcoin private to be arseholes. We don't need to add more to the mix. Now I am an arsehole. All right, I'm going. I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. See ya.